Gentlemen, welcome back to my IRL YouTube channel. It has been 3 whole years since I posted anything on here, so if you're wondering where this video came from, who I am, or what I've been doing, then, well, I haven't really been doing much interesting things lately. I did make a couple IRL videos over on my main channel over the past couple of years. If you don't know my main channel, if you're here from like the old Cars and Coffee or car show videos or anything else I posted on this channel, I have a 50,000 subscriber channel right here. And that is for, it was just Gran Turismo at first, but now it's just like racing game content in general, I guess. I still don't know where I'm going to take that channel really. But this video is going to be mostly about the FRS, so I'm going to get into that stuff about the other channel and like what I'm planning on with this channel later on, because the last few years of this car have it's been pretty rocky. I'm running into several weird small issues here and there, and one of the biggest issues that I had a couple years ago, it was in spring of 2024, so a little over 2 years ago, I took this to Harris Hill Raceway in San Marcos, and my throwout bearing melted on the track. So I was going into the final corner, and the clutch stuck all the way to the floor, and it would not come back up. Oh, I almost... Oh boy, there goes my clutch. My clutch is sticking. My clutch is sticking. That ain't good. Eventually I got it to come back up, but like the pits were right there, thankfully, so I could just like roll it straight into the pits. But yeah, my throwout bearing melted, and somehow I made it home. That sounds so bad. I literally had to like shift from like first to third to fifth. Because I did not want to just like shift into every single gear as I drove back and damage even more things. So luckily I made it back. I replaced the throwout bearing for sure that time, of course. I don't remember if I changed the clutch fork and pivot that time or not. But fast forward a year later, I haven't tracked the car since then. So spring of 2024 was the last time I took this out to the track. And then last year on my way home from work, I noticed that I had like there was like a squeaking noise or something. I don't remember exactly how it sounded, but long story short, I had another issue related to the clutch and the transmission. Come to find out, after pulling the transmission for a second time, the pilot bearing was destroyed. So the pilot bearing sits inside of the flywheel, and the input shaft for the transmission like kind of sits inside of it. So the pilot bearing melted this time, so I switched that. I upgraded the throwout bearing while I was at it, and I know for sure by that point the clutch fork and the pivot were also upgraded. So that whole thing, I did film both of those. I filmed replacing the throwout bearing the first time, and I tried to film doing the pilot bearing, but working on this car in a garage without a lift, like these are the jack stands that I have. I can bring them up pretty high, but my jack itself only goes up a certain height. So even with the car like as high as I could get it on the jack stands, trying to film it at the same time was just pretty much impossible. I was battling so many different stupid issues trying to get the transmission out of this thing, and even more trying to get it back in. Aligning the transmission while you're laying down on the floor with a pallet or with a transmission jack, with it just wobbling all over the place, trying to get the transmission lined up perfectly to slide back in the way it should is an absolute nightmare. And by the time I was done putting the car back together that night, I have literally felt like the most exhausted and worn out that I ever have. Like I was like on the verge of dying, it felt like. So I really, really, really never ever want to do that again. So thankfully I hopefully bulletproofed it down there from now on. So That's pretty much the only work I've done ever since the last video. I also like did the brake pads before that last track day too, but that's pretty much it. Other than just basic maintenance stuff, of course. But now I am overdue on a coolant flush, another oil change, and I think I'm going to have to replace my battery this winter soon. So pretty much that's it as far as like the really basic stuff. But there are a couple different things that I want to do. So first, I guess we'll start with the major one. I still have that really bad timing cover leak down here. It's dripping like straight onto the O2 sensor, which sucks. And I don't really smell like burning oil that often, so it's not like gushing anything like that. So just eventually I'm gonna have to get around to that. The other issue that I have is I've been battling this weird check engine light that's been showing up like once every few months or so. It's P0272, I think. It is a rich code. So apparently with that one, it could be like a myriad of different problems. It could be a dirty mass airflow sensor. It could be a clogged air filter. It could be O2 sensor issues. It could be a header leak. It can be like something wrong with your injectors. So I've been trying to get to the bottom of that ever since December pretty much. I cleaned the mass airflow sensor the first time it happened. That fixed it for a couple months until it came back. So I cleaned the mass airflow sensor again and it fixed it. So like, I don't know, like there's no reason the mass airflow sensor should be getting that dirty that often. And then it came back about 2 weeks ago. And now I'm just kind of stuck. So I cleaned it again. I checked the air filter. There was like a little bit of debris in it, but it's like definitely not enough to impede airflow or anything. And I also checked the throttle body. And well, to get to the throttle body in the first place, it's a pain in the ass of this setup because this inlet pipe is like, you can see like it's not aligned right there whenever it should be. It is like almost impossible to get this thing aligned perfectly. And mainly because it mounts to the ECM down there, and this all has to be bolted in properly for it to work because those are grounding bolts. And just trying to get the whole thing aligned perfectly is damn near impossible. But the throttle body's right here, and it's pretty dirty. So I got some throttle body cleaner. I also have a gasket that I need to go pick up. And that's pretty much it as far as like the immediate things that need to be done. But as far as like this recent code, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is the problem. So I did all the step-by-step diagnosis tests in the service manual, and I got to the point where I was testing the direct injectors because apparently one problem that it could have is losing fuel pressure in the high pressure rail. So I was looking at the short-term and long-term fuel trims. I don't remember exactly what the readings were and stuff, but everything I was reading on Google and the service manual basically said that what I was seeing is not normal. So it could be something wrong with the injectors. I also tested the fuel pressure, and whenever I would prime the pump, it would go up to like maybe 780 PSI. But I would leave it there with the ignition in the on position without the engine running, and I would just watch the fuel pressure for like the next 15 minutes, and it would slowly creep down. And apparently that's a symptom of a leaking injector. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to leak down like on its own over time, just as it sits, like if it's supposed to drop off that pressure or not. The service manual was pretty clear about it being like, if it drops pressure immediately, then there's a problem. But it wasn't really specific about like a slow drop off. Like it didn't say if a slow drop off was a problem or not. So I don't know about that yet. I guess I'm just gonna wait and see if the CEL comes back again. And plus, like if it was everything before the intake, then how would it be able to tell if it's a bank 1 or bank 2 problem? So I don't know. That stuff is still confusing to me. My mechanical knowledge is kind of limited, but I've been doing like hours and hours and hours of research on the forums, looking at the service manual and just doing my own tests, and it's just really difficult to pin it down exactly. So I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see if that CEL ever comes back. But as far as like basic maintenance stuff, cleaning the throttle body, changing the oil, and the coolant are the first on my priority list. And even after I do that stuff, and if the CEL doesn't come back, I'm probably not going to track this this year. Mainly because, one, it's summer right now, and I don't have like a solid standalone oil cooler, so that's just asking for trouble. Two, I want to get hood vents as well, because this supercharger gets super, super hot, and it just like heat soaks the entire engine bay, which I kind of don't like. And I would just rather want to get like a hood with vents on it, or some other kind of like cooling solutions. Like if I'm going to get an oil cooler, I'm probably going to get a new radiator while I'm at it. And even after I do all that, I still don't know if I want to track on the supercharger or not. I mean, it's got like 60,000 miles on it now. It's got a couple track days. It's not like abused 24/7 or anything like that, but I still really don't want to break it. I don't want to break anything in this. I don't want to blow up my engine or break my transmission, God forbid. So, I don't know. I'm still kind of 50-50 on if I want to sell this or not. But right now, like the last thing I really care about is getting into more debt, buying another car. So, I don't know. There's a lot to consider here. This car really isn't even worth that much anymore. If I'm lucky, I could probably get like absolute maximum 12 grand out of it, which I don't even think it's worth it at that point. I might as well just keep it, but I don't know. It's really a lot to think about. So that is pretty much it for now. I'm also going to have to get some new tires soon. These are starting to wear down quite a bit, so that is also going to be due soon later this year. Probably going to get new wheels while I'm at it. I don't know. The paint also needs a lot of work too. There are rock chips and dings and dents and bullshit all over the place. You probably won't be able to see it that well with this lens up. There you go. Yeah, this thing has been my daily driver for the last 9 straight years, so it has its fair share of wear and tear. It's definitely not show car status anymore. It probably never was. The only interesting thing about this is that. But I don't know. I still kind of really want to learn this platform and just like know everything about it. The furthest I've ever gotten in the engine bay is the direct injectors. I did that like literally months after I got the car for an issue that wasn't even related to the thing I was doing in the first place. So that was a complete waste of time. But I've gone as far down as that, and I have done the clutch and flywheel as well as far as the drivetrain side. So I know this car fairly well now. I haven't like pulled the engine before or anything like that, but I don't know. I still want to get really, really good at it. I want to be able to do things quickly and just have at least one platform that I'm very familiar with, at least before I get rid of it. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now with the car, and I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So now as far as this channel goes, I know this video wasn't the most interesting things in the world. I'm just talking about the car really, but I really want to post more often on this channel. I do have like a very, very long-term goal, and this channel is probably going to help out quite a bit with that. Not in terms of like monetization or money or anything like that, but hopefully it pays off later on down the road. For now, it's probably just going to be mostly car maintenance videos. I might do like a car show video here and there. And hopefully like after this year at least, I'm able to bring this out to more track days and just start doing some more things with this car. I want to buy some other cars, work on them, get familiar with them. I haven't like really set out like a full plan for this channel yet or anything. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. I have no idea what to expect out of this. And as far as the main channel goes, I got to be honest, I'm definitely losing interest in the gaming stuff. I'm still gaming like pretty much every single day, even though I know it's a waste of time at my age. But I don't know. YouTube gaming videos, they just don't do it for me anymore. I mean, whenever I make them, like, yeah, I could make money off of it, or I could see a lot of numbers on a screen, like, woo, that's a big deal. But I don't feel proud of the videos I make afterwards. Like, whenever I go back and look at the gaming videos on that channel, I'm just like, it's not really, like, accomplishing or satisfying to me, really. So the IRL videos that I made years and years ago, those were the worst videos ever, but I'm still kind of glad I made them because it shows me like how far I've gone and like where this car came from. Even though I really haven't done much with it over the years, it still shows like a highlight of my life, essentially. Even if it's not for the YouTube audience, if it's just for me, then that's good enough. But I just upload it to YouTube just in case anybody else likes it or anybody else can learn things from it. So that's pretty much like the whole point of why I do this in the first place. And yeah, so that's pretty much my plans right now. Nothing too set in stone yet, but I am going to try to get this channel more active again. Probably, like, it's not going to be anything frequent, of course. It's probably going to be like a video per month maximum for now, but we'll just have to see how it goes over time. And first things first, I need some good things to film. That's probably the most important thing on the list. So for the fourth and final time, or how many times I've said it so far, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and you're going to be seeing more of this fairly soon. Probably a lot on Jack's hands.